Animation as a medium has been in trouble for some time now. Once Pixar came into the equation in the late 90s with Toy Story, 2D animation began its decline to where it eventually became like an endangered species, rarely seeing the light of day in terms of theatrical releases. Three-dimensional animation became the standard for decades, but what nobody expected was that even three-dimensional animation would begin to decline without a replacement in sight. My favorite medium has felt like it's fading away for as long as I can remember. But in 2018, Into the Spiderverse changed the game. With its blend of 2D and 3D animation, as well as its stylistic choices with shorter frame rates, mixtures of graffiti and classic comic designs, as well as just being a damn good movie, it proved that new standards can still be set in a medium nearly 100 years old. The problem is, it takes more than one franchise to save an industry. However, with 2023 has come the release of animated movies inspired from Into the Spider-Verse, with its sequel, Across the Spiderverse, and the movie we're here to discuss, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Along with these movies, the Super Mario Bros. Movie delivered a massive blow to the fight for animation, grossing over $1 billion. And with James Gunn taking over DC, he has promised to include animated theatrical releases in his arsenal. With these franchises joining the fight to save animation, it's finally looking like it stands a fighting chance. But it only truly does if these movies are hits. Now, I can't speak for the upcoming DC movies, but what I can speak on is TMNT. So sit back and listen up to why Mutant Mayhem packs such a powerful punch with what I believe will be a smash hit in the franchise war to save our favorite medium, one as old as film itself, animation. Hopefully we won't argue in the comments, but we probably will, 'cause we are the Phandumb. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is a phenomenal entry to the 30-year-long running franchise, which is saying a lot. And it feels like the perfect Turtles movie for today, featuring themes of overcoming prejudice, as well as featuring some humor that is so now. I know how that sounds, but trust me, it works really well. None of it feeling preachy at all or annoying in any way. Unlike some other kids' IP in theaters right now. The movie is so funny. It's filled with classic Turtles humor of making pop culture references. It's got all the humor you expect and so much more. There's even a surprising amount of cussing, I think entirely from the movie's villain, which is very fitting for a kids movie. All the kids were probably thinking, ooh, the bad man's cussing, or the bad fly. I don't know what the fucking kids were thinking. Where this movie really surprised me was in its emotion, regarding things that are such a key part of who the Turtles are that somehow never felt thoroughly explored. There were also new things that felt so obvious to do with these characters, like Leo wanting to find love. I'd never even thought about any of them seriously wanting love, but why wouldn't they? The closest we'd come is Mikey having a goofy crush on April, which was always played off for laughs. The Turtles being forbidden from associating with the human world and wanting nothing more than to be a part of it feels so new and fresh in this movie, when it's been there right in front of us for 30 years. That aspect of this entry is its heart, where all the emotion stems from. The story was great, and regardless of the Ninja Turtles, it just felt like a very good movie. It's truly amazing how much new ground it broke for another movie in a franchise with so many entries and different takes. It also features the best origin story in the series by far. I'm not going to say what it is for spoilers, but it actually made sense and wasn't goofy at all. It felt like it made the most sense out of any TMNT movie or show. So many things were explained so well and easily, like why Splinter learned and taught them ninjutsu for their entire lives, as well as little things like how they even get enough food to survive. Questions I never knew I had, but answers we deserved to get. Every turtle's personality was somewhat different than we're used to, but they still stayed true to their characters as we've always known them. For example, in this movie, Michael wasn't necessarily the funny one, but they did make him into improv and comedy in general. This was actually the first entry in the Ninja Turtles franchise where he wasn't my favorite. Not that I disliked him, but he was actually my least favorite, offering less unique characteristics than the other three brothers. What's surprising, though, is that didn't bother me at all, because not only did I love all of them, but Leo actually filled that role of being the funniest to me, which is totally out of left field considering what I expect from him. However, it still felt true to his character because the comedy came from him being younger, more awkward, and far less confident in himself as a leader and as a person. Or turtle. Damn it. Also, the score was really cool and felt pretty unique. It seemed to blend genres at times in a very current and cool way. Except for some reason, in just one scene, it didn't seem to work at all. I don't know, it just felt very out of place in the scene it was in and just kind of seemed in the way. But other than that, I loved it. An important quality for any Ninja Turtles movie, the action scenes. They were all awesome, which goes hand in hand with saying how good the directing was. Those scenes are where the directing noticeably shines, especially as the characters hone their fighting skills. By the final climax, not only is the movie at its peak, the characters are at their peak, and the directing as well. There's one long shot that is so beautifully done and so exciting. It's such a perfect example of how much animation can elevate a movie. The animation was so cool. Obviously inspired by Into the Spider-Verse, it doesn't feel like a copy, mostly due to its unique character design. One noticeable and funny difference is that most of the thug human characters looked very ugly. I laughed out loud when it showed certain characters, and those weren't even the mutant ones. I kind of felt like that was an intentional choice, to show that even though most mutants are ugly, the humans can be just as ugly physically and mentally. Something unique specifically to this entry in the Turtles film franchise is that each turtle looks different from each other. Even without their colored masks, there is no confusing one with the other, which I love. Though Mikey's watermelon-shaped head and scrawny body looks a little awkward to me, but since he's normally my favorite, I am a little biased. I want him to just look and be awesome and goofy and just, the way he always is. But gotta take the small L for such a big dub. I don't know what that means. I'm almost 30. Mutant Mayhem wasn't quite perfect, but it wasn't far from it. It goes without saying that I can't wait for the sequel. I'd give Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem a 9 out of 10. The truth is that we need movies at this level, made by people at the highest level, who have proven their worth in this industry, and who will undeniably handle our favorite products with the care and consideration deserved to the source material. Only with animated movies like this can our children and our children's children grow up with the magic that only animation can give them, like we were blessed to have once upon a time. Let me know what your favorite animated movie's been this year. Hell, what's your favorite animated movie of all time? More importantly, what's your favorite TMNT movie of all time? Or did this one take the #1 spot for you like it did for me? Do you prefer the goofy Ninja Turtles spirit that this provided? Or do you prefer the more serious nature of like the 2007 film or the original movie? If you liked this video, please subscribe so we can chat more next time. Thanks for watching.